Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hi and welcome to Stella's Mezza. On today's episode, I'll show you how to make some creamy macaroni and cheese. Now for this, you will need some elbow macaroni pasta, some unsalted butter, and some more butter that you're going to divide. And here I have some fresh breadcrumbs, some all-purpose flour. I have here a 3-cheese blend, Monterey Jack, Colby, and cheddar cheese. And then I also have some Swiss cheese that I will grate. And you will need some whole milk for this, some paprika, some fresh black pepper. I have here 1 clove of garlic that I've minced. And I have here a spice blend that has nutmeg, chili powder, cayenne, and celery salt. Now all these ingredients and measurements are on my blog. It's www.stellasmezza.blogspot.com. Now I have there a lightly buttered baking dish. Now in a large saucepan, put some water and a little bit of salt and cook your macaroni till it's al dente. Now you want to follow the package instructions for cooking the macaroni. And then in the meantime, you want to take some butter, three spoons of butter, and you're going to melt that and add the garlic in there. And you want to cook it until it starts turning a little bit light brown. Just make sure it does not burn, because that'll give your topping a gross flavor, right? Now once that cooks just like that, you want to add in the fresh breadcrumbs. And then you're going to give it a stir to nicely coat the breadcrumbs with the butter and the garlic. And that's what we're going to use to sprinkle up over our macaroni and cheese. And then you take it off the stove once it looks like that. So in the same pot that you use to cook your pasta, you want to put some butter, the rest of the butter, and you want to add the flour in there. Now make sure to stir, use a whisk, stir vigorously to break down all the lumps, or any lumps that may form from the flour. And we're trying to cook this flour so that there's no raw flour taste to our sauce. And you want to give it around a minute and a half to cook. And keep stirring so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And then you're going to start to slowly pour in the milk, the whole milk. Make sure you work fast, not that fast, that's camera tricks, but make sure you work fast so that no lumps form in your sauce. Keep stirring till it's nice and smooth. And you want to add the milk in gradually. You don't want to add it in all at once. Just a little at a time and stir, a little at a time and stir. You see how our sauce is starting to look nice and silky? That's what you want. Alright, now you're going to remove the sauce from the heat, and then you're going to stir in the cheeses. Now remember, all these measurements, you can find them on my blog. That's www.stellasmezza.blogspot.com. Now, because that sauce is still hot, it's going to melt those cheeses, but you want to make sure you stir it very well to break down all the cheese. Make sure it's nicely melted in the pot. Give it a good stir. And then you want to season it with some salt. And some freshly ground pepper. And then give it a good stir. And then you're going to add that spice blend that I have. And that gives it a nice rich color and also boost up the flavor of that macaroni and cheese. It's not just going to be plain, not just salt and pepper. Remember, there's always more you can use. All right, now you want to add in that paprika. And give it a good stir. And then when your sauce looks like this and everything looks well combined, you're going to add in the cooked pasta. Now I set my pasta over a colander to drain it completely, so there's no water from when it was cooking. There's none of that in there. It's all nice and dry. And then you're going to use a spatula or a wooden spoon to coat the pasta in that sauce, just like I'm doing right here. And then once everything looks like it's well mixed, all the cheeses and the spices and the sauce are on the pasta, you want to transfer this mixture into that lightly greased baking pan, glass pan that you have there. And I'm just going to spoon that mixture of the pasta in that bowl or that baking pan. And then I'm going to use my wooden spoon to just make it level. You want to make it nice and level. And remember, the whole time you were mixing all these ingredients, your oven is supposed to be preheating. Okay, you want your oven preheating this whole time. All right, and then you're going to place this in the center rack of the oven. But before you do that, you want to sprinkle that breadcrumb mixture that we had set aside, and you're going to sprinkle it up over the pasta. And then you're going to put it in your oven. Now I baked my macaroni and cheese at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius, for 25 minutes until the crumbs up top started looking a little bit brown or golden brown and the sauce was bubbling in that pan. So this goes perfectly any time of the year, but I like it especially during the cold months, and this will always be on my Thanksgiving and Christmas table. You can go ahead and serve it up nice and hot and enjoy it. So thank you so much for joining me this time. I hope you join me next time as I take your taste buds on another culinary safari. Thank you, and karibu to Stella's Meza.
Yeah, yeah.